Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, things you didn't know about each of the major racket companies. Stay tuned. All right, so guys, today I'm going to tell you about things you probably don't know about each of the major tennis racket manufacturers. A little bit about their history and definitely stuff that you probably didn't know until today. Okay? So let's start with Wilson. As you guys know, Wilson makes the iconic Pro Staff, the number one selling Clash, the decently selling Ultra, those shoes that I love so much, Rush Pro 3.0s. But did you guys know that there was a person by the name of Wilson that started the company? His name was actually Thomas Wilson, and it was in 1913 is when he brought the company to the forefront in America, actually. You guys probably know that they are based in the U.S., in Chicago, but a company from Finland, bought the company in the 80s, 1989 to be specific, and the conglomerate was called Amer. I thought it was like Amera Sports, but it's Amer, A-M-E-R. They are from Finland. So Wilson has been a Finnish company since 1989. That company in turn owns Louisville Slugger, DeMarini bats for softball players, and Lux Salon. So they're a big conglomerate in the sporting arena. Now, in 2019, the whole conglomerate was bought by ANTA. Now that is a Chinese holding company. So the parent company of Wilson and all those other companies are Chinese. So Wilson is a Chinese company now. So when you see that racket made in China, well, hey, they're owned and made in China now. So how about that for Wilson? Okay, so let's move on down to Dunlop. So we know Dunlop as Kevin Anderson and Shea Shui right now. But who do we think of Dunlop when we think of Dunlop? Johnny Mack, right? Johnny Mack put Dunlop kind of on the map. I'm sure there were people before that, but who remembers them? Not me, because it's before my time. But anyways, Dunlop is a British company. They were founded in 1910 as Dunlop. But they are now run by Sumitomo. Sumitomo is the parent company of Srixon. Japanese company, British ties. That's Dunlop today. All right, moving on. Head now. Head was an American-based company, started in Maryland, 1950. You might know a guy named Howard Head. He actually developed skis. So he developed the technology for like graphite lighter skis and got away from the woods. He actually left the company and decided, he left and retired from the company and decided to go to Prince and buy a stake in Prince to start a tennis racket company over there. But Head decided to make rackets themselves. They became an Austrian, American-based company. They would make rackets in both places. They in turn developed their own aluminum rackets, just like with probably Howard Head's help too. So they kind of competed. You probably know Head from Arthur Ashe. He kind of put them on the map a little bit. And then came, guess who? Andre. When they signed Andre, they blew up a little bit more. In recent years, it's been Andy Murray. Now it's Taylor Fritz over here. And of course, Djokovic. So I think Djokovic has been their top name in their history, except for maybe Arthur Ashe. But they are now a Austrian company. Their headquarters is in Austria. In past years, in the 80s, the rackets were made in Austria. Then it went to the Czech Republic. Now they are all made in China. So, but Howard Head sold, now Austrian company Head. Okay, let's move on to Babolat. You guys think is a very, very recent company. I mean, it's only been in the States, like the United States, in the form of tennis rackets since 2000. So everybody thinks, oh yeah, they're like 21 years old. Not true. People come in all the time saying, oh yeah, it's a new company, right? I'm like, no, it's close to 150 years old. It's 1875 is when they started the company. And it's still, to this day, a family-run company. A guy named Eric Babolat still runs it, and he still runs it today from Lyon, France. So their American headquarters is in Colorado. They've only marketed tennis rackets to the United States, or really come out with rackets since 2000. I think they were in Europe in the mid-90s, though. They started selling rackets there first, and then kind of came and brought the rackets to America. But everybody knows Babolat in another name, VS gut. They've always made the best natural gut, and that's what they were known for. You would see the VS before the Babolat. So the Babolat would kind of be hidden in the back, and VS would be what people would think of as natural gut. So Babolat, not young. Actually, probably the oldest racket company on the planet that still exists. Okay? So that is what I know, and when I was surprised at when learning about some of these tennis racket companies. Hope I taught you something today. Hope you learned something today. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.